All right, citizens of the world, here we are for Pathology of an Incident number 5. I have spent most of my life understanding sociology as I lived through it. Lived through what? What is it? I lived through the advantages and the beauty in being the other, otherized, the subaltern. As a very abusive journey, very bullish, very painful, and with a lot of scholarship, I learned that when we all recognize that we are the other, we have arrived, and it is something to be proud of. I have recently recently through the last few days, I got back from a trip to Puerto Rico, which I spent New Year's Eve there, and a few days prior to New Year's Eve, and it was quite an experience because it also connected the dots to the journey that we must take. We must learn to connect the dots, and as Pathology of Incident has always indicated, no incident stands on its own. It is part of a journey. Next slide. I want to go back to 2000, if you could see there, February 21st, 2002. I was asked by the College of Mount St. Vincent to take part in a panel called Black and Latino Males, an Endangered Class. I was proud to be asked to take part in that. And as you will find out in what I have written in my books, Justice Unplugged and Another's Mind, the conditions have not changed since the start of this United States, from the 13 colonies, actually from the landing of Europe on this country. Attached is a statement. This is what I was supposed to talk about. An emphasis is placed on meaning of the idea of endangerment. In essence, it represents an overrepresentation of blacks and Latinos in the vibrant areas of social life, from rates of poverty to experience in the criminal justice system. It would be significant for all in attendance to become informed by the efforts undertaken to address the factors underlying endangerment. I have received a lot of attention and questions on all of my podcasts on topics of assimilation, Trump, and colonization. And as we go through this episode, I hope you find it an adventure that I'd like you to take with me and reflect throughout and well after you have viewed this. Next slide, please.
Que muchas cosas he vivido. Conocí mucha gente, gente buena. Fui a muchos países, a casi todas partes del mundo, pero ninguna como Puerto Rico, no como lo que era antes. Aquí había algo, no sé qué, una magia increíble. Y todavía la hay. Todavía la hay. Quisiera haber tirado más fotos para enseñarte. Las fotos son momentos vividos, recuerdos de cosas que pasaron. Yo no era de estar tirando fotos por ahí, ni estar subiendo stories, ni nada de eso. Yo decía que era mejor vivir el momento. Pero cuando llegas a esta edad, recordar no es tan fácil. Debí tirar más fotos, haber vivido más. Debí haber amado más cuando pude. Mientras uno está vivo, uno debe amar lo más que pueda.
Por eso es que yo lo amo mucho a usted.
Y yo también a ti, Concho. Yo también a ti. Mira, esta es mi foto favorita.
¡Wow! Esa foto me gusta mucho. Ahora esa también es mi favorita.
Okay. Han pasado muchos años, pero recuerdo este día como si hubiera sido ayer.
Acho, a mí como que se me ha metido un hambre. ¿A usted no?
Pues mira qué casualidad. A mí también. Ay. Hey, voy a ir a la panadería a comprar algo. ¿Qué quieres que te traiga?
Lo mismo de siempre.
At the midnight screams.
Like a girl, isn't it? Knock it off! Come on, hurry up.
Oh, really? Just like close by. Okay, so we can just drive there or walk there. Yeah. Okay.
Can I get a Cuban sandwich? Awesome. Thank you so much.
Buenos dias. Welcome to the Flamboyant Panaderia. Can I take your order?
Muy buenas. Una tripleta.
Sorry, we are all out of tripletas.
Well, pastrami.
Yeah, we have pastrami.
Okay, pastrami, eggs and cheese.
Criollo bread, Sobao bread, Mallorca bread, or sweet medianoche bread.
Criollo bread.
Whole wheat Criollo or normal Criollo?
Normal.
American cheese, right?
No, I prefer Papa cheese.
Papa, like father?
No, not like father. Like Papa cheese.
Hey, I know what he wants. It's okay. Tiramos uno de papa.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, anything else?
No, that's all. Perdón, no, se me olvidó algo. Sorry. I also want a quesito. It's for a friend of mine, my friend Concho.
Okay. Regular quesito, bacon quesito, or guava quesito. We also have vegan quesitos. Let me just check to see if we still have some. Cheeseless quesitos are all gone. We sell them fast, sorry.
I want a traditional quesito.
You mean regular, right?
Yes, regular.
Okay, your total is $30.
$30. Pues, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, we don't take cash.
I was here a couple of weeks ago and I paid with cash.
We just implemented the new system this last Monday. It's corporate policy to offer our clients a cashless environment. But you can pay with your phone.
Okay. Can I pay you later?
I am sorry, mister, but I cannot prepare your food until the order is paid in full.
But please, I knew the original owner.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I understand.
Tranquilo, Don. ¿Seguimos aquí?
Sí, seguimos aquí. Y gracias.
No. Gracias a usted.
Joven, tu dinero.
Se apure, señor. Chavos son suyos. Son 30 pesos.
Gracias.
You're all set.
Oye, yo no sabía que había quesito sin queso.
¿Cómo es eso?
Yo digo que si le van a sacar el queso, pues deberían ponerles otro nombre desde ya. ¿Escuchaste eso?
¿Escuchar qué?
Esa música.
Yo no oigo nada.
Cabrón, escucha eso, escucha.
Eso suena bien duro.
Mira eso. Tremendo. Por aquí no pasaba un carro así con música hace, chacho, yo no sé cuánto tiempo.
Yo creo que yo nunca había visto uno.
No, si te digo, ya eso casi ni se ve. Yo me emociono cuando pasa uno. Extraño mucho escuchar la muchachería, las motoritas, el sonido del barrio.
Bueno, y si eso ya no lo hace nadie, ¿por qué no lo hace usted?
¿Hacer qué?
Dar vueltas por ahí con el músico prendido.
Me diste follow y te di follow back. Me diste like y yo te di dos para atrás. Toma, al otro día me pusiste en el close friend. Eso es lo que tú quieres más.
Muchacho, deja eso.
Bueno, pues entonces vamos a seguir viendo más fotos.
Ya te dije que no tengo tantas. Yo te voy a enseñar las que tengo. Y voy a tratar de recordar las que no tiré. ¿Ok?
Yo pienso que debemos tirar una foto de hoy.
Pues claro, la tiramos.
Thank you, Bad Bunny. Assimilation is a form of, forget it's a form, assimilation is a genocide. And it is important to understand words from Isaac Berlin that tried to create the opposition between equality and freedom as an intrinsic value. That among us, we need to understand in the assimilation process that there are things called positive and negative rights. A positive rights requires us to provide us, the other, with a good or services that we cannot afford, school, hospitals, education. And a negative right indicates that I do not want you interfering with my rights, and if I do not want to pay taxes to cover your desires, you're needed because I could afford it privately, then you're interfering with me. This requires all of us, citizens of the world, to understand that what we want privately has an effect on those that do not have access to it. And if you don't have access to a service that you can afford, then for the other, the altering, that service does not exist. People speak about taxes during the last couple of weeks, especially because of the elections. But do we really understand that we are still living in a period of taxation without representation? How dare we pay for taxes that cover the expenses that Trump is requiring us to cover for everything that he has done with his outrageous and immoral actions. Now, this is really not only about Trump. This is what I call in my books about the Trump effect. There is an advantage that I noted right away a few years ago when Trump mentioned that he was running, even before the first election, when I indicated and I brought to my student the impact of a Trump effect, which would mean that everything that's what is immorally wrong in this country, what is not working, what is creating homelessness, what is creating racism in the courts, in the systems, in the jails, had been around way before Donald Trump. The assimilation factor remains not even hidden in the way we process judicial justice and injustice. The advantage, again, with the Trump effect is that Trump emphasizes and brought it out much more clearer. He underlined it. He put it in bold that what was wrong with this country was not originated by Trump. He just put it out there right in everybody's face. Let's go to the next. Trump's effect in 2016, as I mentioned, we could go back to Theodore Roosevelt. Trump's summation of former prisoners of war. He criticized John McCain for getting captured. We could go to Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt, view of the West, 1919, connects with Roosevelt's view of the West and Darwinian grounding of displacements, of Indians by Mexicans and Mexicans by whites, etc., as well as their subordination to the superior organization skills of the Eastern interlopers of 1980s. as long as this narrative continues, where only one person is doing the narrative, we will be a country under lockdown. We could also go back another 100 years, where we have another president speaking of the Monroe Doctrine, James Monroe, the Monroe Doctrine, 1823, almost 100 years again. The European intervention and colonization of the Americas protected newly independent countries in Latin America and established American sovereignty. However, the Monroe Doctrine had 4 basic points. The United States would not interfere in European affairs, which is not the case. The United States recognized and would not interfere with existing colonies in the Americas, which is not the case. The Western Hemisphere was closed to further colonization, which is not the case, as we know that Puerto Rico is still a colony. Forget the word Commonwealth. And if a European power tried to interfere with any nation, that the United States would involve itself. All these 4 myths were created for the sole purpose of making English and the white community sovereign over all others in the United States. When you have this much inequality, social inequality, it is a mental illness that we have in this country. And the epidemic in this country is mental illness. To assume and to believe that such inequality has nothing to do with race is insanity. Can we see more? The next slides. March 2009, Dr. Franklin, the scholar, my mentor and colleague, I can actually say, stated, this is in the Weeker Review, Dr. John Hope Franklin, scholar and witness to the Tulsa race riots. The United States, unlike any other imperial powers, had a color problem at home and therefore had to pursue a policy with regard to race that would not upset the racial equilibrium within the United States. In Puerto Rico, for example, approximately 1/3 of the population was distinctively of African descent, and many so-called white Puerto Ricans had sufficient black blood in their veins to qualify as African Americans in the United States. Unfortunately, because I am Puerto Rican, I have encountered too many Puerto Ricans, because they are physically white, neglect the fact and desire not to be associated with the African and the black ancestors that we always represent, have always represented. Next slide. In my recent trip to Puerto Rico, I visited again the birth of my mother in Santurce, and there, the cultural capital of the world, a cultural capital of Puerto Rico, we visited a cultural center where my mother was born. And my mother was born in Santurce, and she played the piano and was culturally, musically artistic. So I was proud to see the African influence again in Santurce, Puerto Rico. Can we go through the slides slowly? There's more of our African ancestry. Proceed. And more, all in Santurce, just as I finished having a nice pina colada and great lunch. Proceed. The island, the beautiful island, a colony, trying to, the United States, trying to make it the east coast of Hawaii. Assimilate, endangered country. Proceed. more of my beautiful country that we travel through. These are pictures taken by myself. Proceed. And here we are. Let's stay on this film for a while. As it happens in Puerto Rico, after the storms Ada and Maria, it is 1 hour before New Year's Day, New Year's Eve. 11 o'clock at night. That is me walking. No power in Puerto Rico. The entire power in the island goes out just about an hour before 12 o'clock, and 2025 enters. Millions of dollars were lost as restaurants and parties and weddings and festivities had to be canceled. Restaurants couldn't serve. Reservations broken. How does it happen? Who's interfering? The capitalism, the interference on the island with no power. Next picture. And here's, again, my beautiful island. This is on the other part of, this is in Ponce, and the other side of Puerto Rico on the Caribbean side. How is it possible that such disasters keep occurring? Next picture. Interesting, profound statement. In driving through Puerto Rico and its mountains, I read, "No vote lucha." Many of us have been disenchanted with the falsehood of democracy. As I mentioned in the last episode, number 4, democracy, the issue of power, a fake orgasm, pretending that there's power. The power's in the wrong places. So here we see no vote, which I do not agree with, lucha, but we are sick of our vote at a time when the power keeps going out and the president throws towels in our face. That was President Trump. Next picture. Next slide. And again, more of the darkness of in the island. Any more? Okay. So now we have a glimpse connecting the dots of the tragedies that we refuse to face with. Our vote must count, but it cannot be purchased, and corporate power cannot keep being the vote that matters. Please understand the advantages of being an other. Do not allow ourselves to forget who we are and invent a person that we're not, that we can never be. Thank you, and we look forward to episode 6.